Hi, I'm Jim Covington. Today is March 10th, 2016. I'd like to welcome you to this week's issue of ISBA Statehouse Review. I have 6 bills that are live and pending I'd like to talk to you about. As I've noted before, this is going to be a backloaded session with lots of activity in April and May, and I'm trying to get a feel for what's out there, and these are some of the bills that are still live and pending. The first one is Senate Bill 3503 that creates a judicial facilities fee. It's introduced by Senator Andrew Manar from Bunker Hill and allows the county board to impose a judicial facilities fee on all defendants convicted in traffic and criminal cases and all civil litigants. The fee may not exceed more than $30. It also expands the current use of this fee from deferring new construction to include re-innovating existing judicial facilities. Under current law, you can only construct with this money, and only Will and King counties have the authority to do so. This expands it to everybody and allows them to also use the money to renovate. It's assigned to the Senate Judiciary Committee. The next bill is Senate Bill 2863, introduced by Senator Mike Conley from Lisle, and it amends the Condominium Property Act. It allows the unit owner to retain ownership of his or her unit in one situation. That situation would be if the fair market value is not at least 90% of the price that the unit owner paid for the unit if the unit owner files a written objection to a sale of the property within 20 days after the date of the meeting at which the sale was approved. This change would apply to sales that are pending or commenced on or after the effective date. That's also been assigned to Senate Judiciary Committee. The next bill affects juries in all civil litigation. It's Senate Bill 3286. It's introduced by Senator Toy Hutchison of Chicago Heights, and it prohibits parties in civil litigation from using a peremptory challenge to remove a prospective juror on the basis of their race, color, religion, national origin, economic status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. It's assigned to the Committee on Assignments, awaiting referral to a substantive committee. The next bill amends the Adoption Act, Senate Bill 2926, also introduced by Senator Toy Hutchison from Chicago Heights, and it adds to the list of the disclosures to be made to adoptive parents. It adds facts and circumstances relating to the nature and cause of the adoption, information regarding how adoptive parents were identified, and whether a request or efforts were made regarding continued contact or an open adoption. That's assigned to the Senate Judiciary Committee as well. The next bill amends the Trust Act. It's Senate Bill 2842, introduced by Senator Ira Silverstein from Chicago, and it seeks to reverse the holding of the 2015 Mendelson case. Senate Bill 2842 provides that the transfer of property to a trust requires a transfer of legal title to the trustee, evidenced by a written instrument of conveyance and acceptance by the trustee. Provides that for any interest in real property to become trust property in a trust of which any transfer is a trustee, the instrument of conveyance shall additionally be recorded in the appropriate real property records. That's assigned to Senate Judiciary Committee as well. And all those bills assigned to Senate Judiciary Committee will be on the calendar for next week for possible hearing. The final bill I'd like to talk to you about is Senate Bill 3303 that amends the supplementary proceedings in civil procedure for collections. It's introduced by Senator Chapin Rose of Mahomet. It amends the Code of Civil Procedure to provide that if the respondent fails to appear on the date that the court conducts an inquiry related to the discharge of a bond, the court may proceed with the inquiry and resolve any questions that arise. And that's been referred to the Senate Committee on Assignments, awaiting referral to a substantive committee. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.